What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Wnba Dfs here to bring another WNBA slate breakdown for the two-game WNBA slate, which starts in a couple of hours. We got the Fever taking on the Sparks again. We just seen this matchup 2 days ago. And then we get the Dream taking on the New York Liberty. If you guys are new here and you guys enjoying the content, please make sure you guys hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of the uploads. With that being said, let's break down this short, small, early-ish slate. Now, I got confirmation on why these games have been at like 3, 12, and 11 stuff like that. It's because of the camp days. Whenever they're doing the camp outreach for the kids and stuff like that, that is why the games are earlier in the day for some of these teams, such as this one right here. So, going over, looking at the injury reports for both of the teams, looking at it for the Fever, still they don't have any Nalissa Smith. That was same old. We already seen that last time they going up against the Sparks. And over here for the Sparks, they will be without Lexi Brown. Apparently she is sick again, but they will be getting Carly Samuelson back because she is it's either Carly or Katie. Whichever Samuelson's sister has been playing the whole season anyway, but she will be back from her knee injury that she had. So pretty much it'll just be taking Lexi out the starting lineup and putting Samuelson right into the spot that she was in. For the Atlanta Dream, they have no one on their injury report. And then for the New York Liberty, for some reason, Stephanie Dolson, she says that her ankle hurts, but she can do pregame dances and stuff like that. But that's neither here nor there. Going over, looking at the totals for today's slate, we got a 160 total for the early game and then 173.5 total for the Dream and the New York Liberty game. On the DraftKings, the site that I play the most on, the site that's been winning some pretty good money on the season. And if you guys want to come and join me and win some money over here on the King, check the link down in the description below for that deposit match bonus so you can come over here and play on the King and also on FanDuel as well. I will have a quote for both sites, FanDuel and for DraftKings, up on the Patreon. And if you want to see that, along with player pool, cores, other breakdowns, freaking straight bets. My boy BK, he does all the straight bets and stuff like that. If you want to see player props for all the stuff that we got going on, swept a 4-pick yesterday and a good list yesterday as well. Check that stuff out. All that is up on the Patreon as well. Only $10 you get that. And it's not just for WNBA. You're also going to be getting CSGO, golf, NFL when that comes back, MLB. We post a lot of stuff besides just prop content. And there's also DFS content and betting stuff as well. But check the link for that down in the description below. All right, getting into the game, looking at it, like I said, we literally just seen these two teams play against each other 2 days ago. I went back and I rewatched the game again just so I can get a better feel and understand. I'm not understanding why Aaliyah Boston is not getting her touches anymore. Over the last 3 games since they've come out of the All-Star break with no Nalissa Smith, her production has just literally dropped and dropped and dropped. Looking at it, yeah, she got into a little bit of foul trouble. She picked up 4 fouls, 4 turnovers, but she had 9 points, 2 assists, 4 rebounds. The issue that I have, she only took 3 of 9 shots. Aaliyah Boston needs to be having double-digit shot attempts. Like, there's no ifs, ands, buts about it. Looking at it, they're not finding her when she's on the block, when she has good inside position, none of that stuff. And it's kind of frustrating, and you can see it on her face of her getting frustrated out there for the fact of, hey, our teammates are not getting to her. They're not getting her the ball at all. And then when they get it to her, it's that they're tossing it into a trap or a double team, or she's getting double teamed way too quickly, things like that. But this is a spot, still, I like it for a GPP option because the production that she has shown early in the season, she can definitely bounce back. Prime example is going to be, I'd say, when she went up going against the Washington Mystics early in the season. She had that down game, had a big game, something like that. But I would expect a bounce back performance for her here, especially since you are going up against the exact same team again in back-to-back matchups. And I mean, it's not like she had Neko on her the whole time. She had Azura Stevens. She somewhat gave her some fits and stuff like that. But still, I would expect a bounce back production from Aaliyah Boston. Definitely a GPP option on the slate. Outside of that, of course, you got Kelsey Mitchell, Vivian, Erica Wheeler. All 3 of them are in consideration in play, but Vivian's being the one that I would kind of rather target the most, just since she's been put into that starting lineup. She has really produced in the last 3 games that she has played, going from 19 to 37 and 31 fantasy points. I really do like what I'm seeing from her because she's getting involved in all aspects of the game besides just scoring. And if her shot is falling and she's going to stay hot from right there, I really do like that for her. She was the main catalyst of why they were so close to winning that game. On top of that, we already also seen that Kelsey Mitchell, looked very good. Definitely had a pretty good scoring night, and if they want to actually win, which they only lost by 1, and that was due to some mistakes that the Fever made towards the end of the game, I definitely could see us going back to Kelsey. Well, going to Kelsey Mitchell. I'm not gonna say going back to her because I wasn't on her the first time, but definitely is a spot we could possibly go to Kelsey Mitchell. If the shot is still falling and she's doing everything that she's already doing, had a very good game out there. This is the first time that they played on the season. Definitely can go to Kelsey Mitchell, and then Erica Wheeler if you want that 20-ish fantasy points that she can give us, which is pretty much her floor. That was a ceiling game that we got from her in that last game where she dropped 32.25 fantasy points, large part due to the fact that she had 8 assists, but I would expect more around that 20 to 25 range for Erica Wheeler. I'm not going to bank on another 30-point game, but definitely we do know she has that in the bag. Lexi Hull, long as she's going to start, I do not mind her. I know she's going to at least play upwards 25-ish minutes, kind of almost produce at a fantasy point per minute out there, giving us 17 fantasy points, 2 blocks, 2 assists, 2 rebounds, 8 points. She really has some easy shots that she just wasn't able to get to go down, but whenever they're doubling Leah Boston, she's looking for the kick out, and Lexi Hull is a great cutter out there along with Victoria Vivians. So definitely still like Hull right here. Cannon, we know she's going to have to get some minutes just simply because they are down bodies out there, especially for the bigs. But Cannon, if you don't mind a fantasy point per minute producer out there in the time she's getting, I don't hate that. But I'm going to tell you right now, I would rather come down, and I said this the last time they were on the slate, and just play Zowie B. We know she's going to go out there. She's going to at least get her 12 to 15 minutes out there, and she's going to at least get us about 10-ish fantasy points. This was the thing in that last game. She did this in 14 minutes, 12 fantasy points. Imagine if she actually got any of her shots to fall. If she got any of those shots to fall and still gave us the production that she gave us, it would have been a really great night for Zowie B. It could have been a Megan type night in regards to fantasy points, dropping maybe like 19 to 20-ish fantasy points in that limited amount of time that she played. But Zowie B definitely going to be on the table for me today. And then if you want to take a flyer on Grace Berger, you got that option right there. But not someone I'm really too high on. Going over to the Sparks, literally starts and ends with NECA and Canada. Both of them definitely in play, especially with no Lexi Brown. We already know Canada is looking a lot better over the last couple games I've watched her. She's not being too hesitant with her shot. She is taking the shots, and she's facilitating at a high level. If they got her props out again at 6.5 or 5.5, 6 or 6.5, I would take the over just for how consistent she has been in regards to playmaking and finding everybody out there on the court. I know having Lexi Brown was a pretty good boost for her, especially because Lexi, great three-point shooter, was shooting over 40% since coming back from her injury. From her sickness, but still. With players like Clarendon out there who hopefully can bounce back today in today's spot. Stevens on the roll, NECA getting down low and stuff like that. I still like Canada assist prop on today's slate. Stevens, you can definitely go to her. As we've seen, looks like they have her more as the starting center out there, rotating between her and NECA. Hamby is still playing off the bench. They are still down in short big, so we already know that Stevens is going to have to play. NECA is going to have to play Hamby. She's going to play some minutes as well. Looks like she's kind of had fell down in regards to her minutes. I don't know why she dropped down to 13 minutes, but with them being down another player, maybe we might actually see Hamby get her minutes again, maybe up 15, 20-ish minutes. I wouldn't put it out there. Definitely would be a GPP option right here, but if we're going to go with anything, it's going to be these top three right here for the Sparks, of course, with NECA and Canada being the top two that you want to get. And then this is definitely a bounce back spot that we can look to for Clarendon to come out here after playing 35 minutes and legit did nothing in those minutes. This is a true bounce back spot for her to be able to do that. And then if you want to mess with Carly, you know that she has up and downs, but definitely a deep GPP for me on the slate. Going over to the Dream taking on New York Liberty, I really do actually like this game. It should be a close game. The Dream have been playing very, very well over the last couple games. Now, they've played 3 times already on the season. This should be the last time that they will have to play. Of course, we know Ryan, you know what you're going to get. She's going to go out there. She's going to try to dominate. She's going to get that laney defense. So far on the season, all times that they've played, the New York Liberty have done a pretty good job of limiting what Ryan goes out there and she gets going up against them. She's only dropped 24, 24, and 34 fantasy points in all 3 games that they've played. The 34 fantasy points, that did come playing on New York's court, so maybe she could tap into that today. She is coming off of a down game going up against the Phoenix Mercury. Granted, that game kind of was a blowout. She only played 21 minutes, so should definitely be well rested. If she's able to get her shot to fall, and we have seen New York Liberty, they have been a little lax over their last couple of games. A game that they should have beat the Sparks, no problems, no questions to ask. They kind of did struggle in that game. But with the usage and everything that Ryan has, and we do have to spend up for somebody on today's slate, I definitely do not hate Ryan here on this spot. Alicia Gray sitting at 9-2. Of course, you already know, same old that I will always say about this. If you're not going to play Ryan, you want more consistency. You want someone who's going to be a little bit safer, who does everything besides having to score, who can definitely play it on the defensive side, get you those assists and rebounds. Alicia Gray, that's going to be your girl. I definitely do like going to her. She was very consistent in her time playing going up against New York with 24, 29, and 29 fantasy points. So pretty much right there around the realm of what I would expect for her in that mid to range, more of these 29 fantasy point games. Definitely know she can go off and get us at least about a 35, possible 40 point game, especially if that 3 ball is able to fall in this matchup out there on today. Nia Coffee Parker. This is a spot Parker possibly could bounce back in. It was interesting looking at her stats and stuff from the last time. She played 37 minutes in one of these games, which is the most minutes that she's played. And this game didn't go to overtime according to Line Star looking at it, but I want to look a little deeper. All right, so after looking a little bit deeper, it looks like the game did not go to overtime, but Cheyenne Parker, she had a pretty decent game in that spot, playing at those 37 minutes. A large part, of course, was due to the fact she got 3 steals and a block out there and snagged down 11 rebounds, but not too much on the scoring side in this matchup going up against them, which is, we do know, that's a pretty big catalyst for Parker going out there, because these rebounds and the steals and blocks, they're not always guaranteed. Definitely going to be a GPP option. Coming off of a mid-tier game going up against the Phoenix Mercury, only played 18 minutes and gave us 21 fantasy points. But if you're wanting to chase this production that she's had, it's definitely a GPP option, but I would kind of rather look at the bigs from the other side in this game for that. And then Nia Coffee, of course, again, she went out there, she put up a fantasy point per minute in those 16 minutes that she played going up against the Phoenix Mercury last time out. She only played 22, 17, and 15 minutes in this spot going up against New York Liberty so far this season. So if they can give her back those 20-ish minutes that she was playing, 20 to 30 minutes a game earlier in this since the All-Star break, I wouldn't mind Coffee here sitting at 7-7. Definitely a boomer bust play for you if you put her into your lines, but someone I would have to take into consideration as a possible maybe on the slate. Robinson, Billing, Durr. Durr would be the only one I would probably consider, especially because we know she has the upside revenge factor for her going up against her former squad, and we know if she comes out there, the shots falling, and she's balling, she might get a little bit longer of a leash of her minutes, and she did pop off in 18 minutes for 23 fantasy points in one of the games that she did play going up against New York Liberty, so do have that to factor in, and she's sitting at 3K, that's stone cold minimum. You know she's not going to go out there and get you a 0, but definitely will allow you to literally just star-stud stack the slate if you wanted to, just going with Durr. That's crazy that they actually priced her at the 3K range. And then outside of that, Ari McDonald would be the only other one I would probably consider for the Dream, sitting there at 5-5. Again, long as the shots falling, surprising, her minutes went down, and it was technically kind of a blowout, so I guess that makes sense why her minutes went down. Really didn't need her to go out there, but she shot 5 of 7 from the field, very productive in her time out there, and I'm pretty sure she has not played going up against the New York Liberty so far this season. But this will be, she hasn't played going against them, but this will be a dream matchup for someone like her, of her caliber, that goes out there and scores and scores and scores, and can definitely bring it on the defensive side, where you know Sabrina, she turns the ball over, Courtney Vandersloot turns the ball over as well. So Ari McDonald sitting at 5-5, that's definitely a pretty good pay down option. Going over to the New York Liberty side, of course, Brianna Stewart, I have not gotten her right the last couple times I wanted to play her. It took her a minute. Sorry about that, guys. It took her a minute to come online last time. Didn't get going until the end of the third, beginning of the fourth quarter. Played 37 minutes in the last game, dropped 37.75 fantasy points. If she can go out here today and actually dominate like she's supposed to, definitely is a spot where she can do that. I know she's been pretty consistent in her time and minutes that she's played going up against the Atlanta Dream, dropping at least over 40 fantasy points in all 3 games that she's played going up against them, even playing only 26 minutes in the last game that they played. So, of course, 12K, I'm not going to tell you not to play Brianna Stewart. She is one of the best players in the league and on the slate for a reason. But if you don't want to play Brianna Stewart, definitely come down, play Jonquil Jones, who over the last couple games, especially since the All-Star break, has been very, very consistent, dropping 42, 39, 51 fantasy points, and the minutes have been pretty much there for her. Really, to solidify it for me for her is the fact that she played 21, 23, and 24 minutes going up against the Dream and has dropped 29, 28, and 33 fantasy points. So imagine the fact, if she's going to at least see 26 to 30 minutes out there, and the production, the uses that she's actually getting, if Stewie goes out there and struggles again, Jonquil Jones, break the slate open, especially you get a low-owned Jonquil Jones versus a higher-owned Brianna Stewart. So we're in the next game with Courtney Vandersloot. She had one pop-off game going up against them. She's been pretty steady Freddie. You know, if she goes out there and she get her scoring going, definitely a spot for her. But I do like Sabrina Ionescu coming off of that triple-double, playing at home. We know the shot is she's going to shoot it, shooter's touch. She does more than just try to score, but she does have that triple-double upside. I don't expect that again, maybe more of a double-double because, you know, she can rebound and she can get those assists. She played in 2 out of the 3 games going up against the Atlanta Dream, and in one of those games she did drop a 55 fantasy point game with 37 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists, 2 steals. So definitely, I do want to ride the coattail of Sabrina Ionescu here on today's slate. But if you can't pay up for Sabrina, of course, you can come down here to Courtney Vandersloot. Just hope the upside will be there. But I do like Sabrina on today's slate. And then Lainey, she's been pretty steady over the past couple games, dropping 32 and 33 fantasy points in her last 2 games. The block is hot. If her shot is going to continue to fall, I would definitely ride the coattail of this still. Looking at her game logs from what she's done going up against the Dream over the last couple games, last 3 times that they played, 16, 25, 31 fantasy points. So her fantasy points were steadily going up in all 3 of those games. And this is the game that Sabrina missed where she dropped 25. And the game Sabrina was back, she dropped 31. And that was only in 24 minutes. So down minutes, and she dropped 31 fantasy points, popping off for 19 points. So definitely looking at Lainey, we'll definitely have her in my player pool. Not a must, but if you land on it, I definitely do not hate that on today's slate. Of course, as you know, bench squad, Johannes will probably be the best bet right there, and then Sabley, if Jones or Stewart goes ahead and gets themselves in foul trouble, we do know that they can come in. Kelly Thornton, she's just there. Really not a Thornton God type slate or anything like that. All right, guys, that's gonna be it. Pretty short breakdown. One game we've already seen. Second game we already know. Typically go with the stars and stuff like that. Definitely consider that Asia Durr value at 3K. Pretty much lets you fill in your line whatever the heck you want to put in on today's slate. That's really crazy that they priced her that cheap right there. I might actually just run and roll with that, especially lets me get Canada. Durr, and I just fill it in with whoever the heck, whatever bigs I want to put in here at the forward slots. Find me another value play or something like that. So yeah, definitely check that out. Hopefully you guys cash out on today's slate. I know we did pretty good yesterday. We'll be back for tomorrow's slate, and good luck to everybody. See you guys on green.